The Hyperdrive, a Star Wars group. It is a Facebook page with a group of people with amazing and inspirational collections. It's a love of everything about the Star Wars movies. So it's not just how it is on screen and the pleasure you get from watching it. It is what went into the making of it. The crew, the production, the costumes, the props, everything about it is all as important as the final movies themselves. And that appreciation of the Star Wars universe is, I believe, what makes the collections that we see in the Hyperdrive group so special. We were invited a few years ago now to produce an exclusive for the Hyperdrive group, and we did. We thought of something that we thought would be fitting, and we produced a helmet. It was the Red Leader helmet from Return of the Jedi, and we asked Dennis Lawson to do a signature edition. It was a really great helmet. I'm going to say, by today's standards, what we're going to talk about, it was safe. The DAC helmet was quite safe, but then as we started to lean into the idea of the ethos of Hyperdrive, we thought we could push that, and we could do some stuff that maybe we wouldn't have been as brave to release without the Hyperdrive group. We started to lean into doing something that was a little bit more outside of the box, a little bit more maybe niche, a little bit more not for the masses. This one was for the people that really embraced the whole ethos of the Hyperdrive, the people who were as interested in how it was made than what was made. So we did the Rogue One Partisan helmet, which obviously we'd had a hand in producing for the original movie, and we thought that was quite an exciting place to go. It's not a helmet that we would have done normally because it was kind of the modern era stuff. And then we found the B-Wing chest box and thought that was a really good fit for the Hyperdrive because a previous run had been done. We'd not brought our helmet out yet, but we were going to, so that fitted with the Hyperdrive. But this year, something totally different happened. We were thinking right outside of the box for this one, and I don't quite know how you're going to take this. Let's just cut to the chase. Let's see what we're talking about, and then I'll explain exactly what it is and how it came about and how it is so entwined with the Hyperdrive group. All right, there are a couple of things we need to talk about. What exactly is this, and why is it here? So this is Mon Calamari pilot helmet. If you get on the internet and you Google Mon Calamari helmet, you are going to find very, very limited information on this helmet. But something that you will see are some plaster vac forming bucks. Those were created from production made pieces, and those bucks created this helmet. So this is a full lineage Mon Calamari helmet. Here it's seen as a pilot helmet because it's got the greeblies on there. So it's seen in the movie without the greeblies on the bridge, but it's also seen in the hangar with the greeblies on, being used as a Mon Calamari pilot helmet. As it stands today, if you look in the costume book, insert image here, you will see this helmet. It's repainted, it's back to white, but it's got the greeblies, it's finished exactly like this. This is how it sits in the archive, and it's a fantastically asymmetrical helmet. I think you'll agree. We are outside of the box here. We are definitely outside of the box. So why does this helmet exist? We bought the molds many, many years ago. I think it was 6, maybe 7 years ago. And we were excited to do the helmet one day, if we could learn enough about it. I have no interest in making this helmet just to make the helmet. It needs to be right. And we needed information, we needed research, and we needed time. Let's skip forward to around this time last year. And we were researching the B-wing helmets, the chest box, everything B-wing. And we didn't have all the reference that we wanted to create the B-wing. So we reached out to somebody we thought could help, and they did help, and they provided all the reference that we needed from all the way around the helmet so that we could do the B-wing. So this is our first link with the Hyperdrive. Without doing the Hyperdrive exclusive for last year, we wouldn't have had the enthusiasm for this reignited with the new reference, because aside from deleted scenes, what you see in the movie and the image in the costume book, not much was still even known about this helmet, even though we had molds for it. Now we come to, I think, the most difficult thing, because this thing is so out of whack. I mean, this was produced by, they made a sculpt of the Mon Calamari. They then made a plaster mold of the Mon Calamari head. They then sculpted in clay this helmet on top of that head. And that leads to this helmet being so wonky. It's got bulges where you wouldn't believe. They're all over the place. Now, that is the beauty of this helmet. And we didn't want to lose any of that. But at the same time, because it was so out of whack, it was really difficult to be able to understand how this helmet was joined together. So these plaster molds, I mean, let's take the Bausch for example. When we made the pulls, we could see how that went together because there were that many defining areas. There was the oval on top that had to go in a certain way. There was the lining through, there was a curvature on the back. They were all tells. There were the ears, the size of the ears. They were all tells that made it obvious how that thing went together. Whereas with this, it was really difficult. We could have guessed how it went together. We could have, you know, used our judgment, but there were that many weird bulges here and there that we didn't want to remove any of those, because those are the things that you cannot put back in there once they are gone. You've got to retain all of that, and you've got to work around that and know what should be there, what shouldn't be there. And that is the absolute fun of creating something like this. So how do we do it? Well, this final piece of the jigsaw is the thing that allowed for this helmet to exist. We had the molds, we had really good reference, but we needed to work out that sizing and just how this thing goes together. And there's only really one way that that can be achieved, and that would be going back to the plaster head form that this was sculpted on, or a head form. If we had a head form for this helmet, then we could work out the sizing and everything hopefully would fall into place. If only we had a head form. Enter Vincent, a Hyperdrive member. I love the fact that we were thinking of this for the Hyperdrive, and in the end, the final piece of the puzzle, the thing that made this whole project achievable, was the Hyperdrive itself. From out of nowhere, Vincent posted on the Hyperdrive that he had an original head form. He was thinking of making copies of it. I think it's out there on his website now. I'm going to put all these details below and we'll come back to talk about them. But a Hyperdrive member had the head. It was a missing piece to make this helmet possible. This is all possible because of the Hyperdrive. It's where we intended it always to be, and here it is, a reality for the Hyperdrive because of the Hyperdrive. I just think that's really cool. So here you can see that I'm preparing the vac form pulls to send to Vincent so that he can then put them on the head form, and we can establish how these fit exactly, the amount of space that we need around them, and we can get the perfect size of the helmet. I'm not going to say join line because we can work on the join line. We don't need the join line. What we need is how much of the pulls for the left and for the right are required to get the perfect fit. He received the formings, he put them on there. We had a bit of a chat about how he could cut them down for us. He trimmed them down so that the two halves kind of roughly went together. Then they came back into me. I went from the two trimmed halves that fit on the head form to a built helmet. We've gone from sizing on the head form to the built helmet. the Mon Calamari Pilot helmet. Strictly limited to 100 helmets worldwide. On our website on the 28th of December from 7 p.m, that's Greenwich Mean Time, that's in the evening. And the price of this is £595 plus shipping. So it really is a strange helmet. It's beautiful, the curves, and it should not exist. The fact that this is here is just mind-blowing to me. The fact that molds were made and then sold at the prop store, the fact that molds were made and copies sold of the head form with Vincent at Invincible Props, it's just mind-blowing. The fact that we can now, as a community, have a helmet like this if we so choose, I think is just absolutely fantastic. And there it is. Check it out in all its glory. And as I say, Vincent at Invincible Props is offering the heads. They will be available from him separately. This will obviously fit on the head, or it can be displayed with the head. But the fact that this is a thing, and the fact that we can get a head from production made, it's a great time to be a member of the Star Wars replica prop collecting community. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope this is of interest to you, because it is definitely an interesting helmet, and the fact that it exists, again, it blows my mind. But I would just like to say thanks for watching. Have a happy Christmas. All the best for 2026. I think we are, as a team, we are really looking forward to next year and the things that we've got lined up. More about that next year. But for now, have a great one from me and all of the team. Oh, and from this guy, because this is a signature edition.
Hello, my name is Tim Rose. I played Admiral Akbar, Salacious Groundman Sice Noodles on the original Return of the Jedi. On behalf of myself and the people at RS, we'd like to wish you all on Hyperdrive a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I'd like to personally assure you that this is not a trap.